This is Darrell White with Carte Blanche Media, and today I have with me Mr. Manny Larcher. He's the CEO of Stopwatch Creative, also the CEO of Collaborate and Elevate, is doing some other great things here as well. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it, Manny. Tell me a little bit more about yourself here.
What's up? Nice. Thanks for having me on. I'm a first generation American born in Ohio and just enjoy marketing and kind of helping business grow and traveling and living around. So like you said, with Stopwatch, it's a marketing agency where we help businesses pretty much in all forms of marketing, from like UI, UX, design and development to strategy, fundraising, and kind of go to market and getting customers, and Collaborate and Elevate, more of a software, essentially where businesses could kind of pick their tier that they want. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Very cool. So you kind of talked a little bit about both Stopwatch Creative and kind of Collaborate and Elevate. Like what kind of got you started with Stopwatch in particular, and then Collaborate and Elevate? Was there anything that kind of was the ignition for that?
Definitely. I think, with Stopwatch, I met Lenny and we were both working at a startup, and that startup was strategically acquired. So after that, we had an opportunity to maybe go into another startup. But I think at that point, I was really kind of ready to start my own thing. So I would just say it's kind of freedom and being able to, create the world in which you want to live in, I would say. And after having success with that, I think Collaborate and Elevate was just an event that I was working with Michael Redd, at his office, and Michael grew up in Columbus, played in the NBA, went to the Final Four with Ohio State, and was a franchise player with Milwaukee Bucks. So he did pretty well. And a lot of people were, asking for a connection, and they wanted or investment or just, guidance. So that's pretty much how Collaborate and Elevate got started. We did like 70 events we did like 20 events, over 700 people attended up until the pandemic. And then we pivoted to a more subscription as a service type of business. So, I think, what that evolves to today is Ohio Tech Happy Hour, which, we now do events in Columbus, Cleveland, and Cincinnati, all about, connecting founders, investors, and community builders in itself. Whereas Collaborate and Elevate could be a pure software company now, which is pretty much what it is now. So
cool. And kind of what's been your biggest challenge since you got started with either Stopwatch or Collaborate and Elevate there? Either one of those items there.
I think just like your team and vision is the biggest challenge. I think kind of growing your team and just with the challenge. Luckily for me, it's just me and one partner. But we did have employees before the pandemic, and just in communication and kind of just being able to stay on the same page with your team as you grow. And I think that's probably the biggest challenge, honestly.
What's been your biggest success so far?
Biggest success? I like how Collaborate and Elevate has over 400 customers. So I like how the business is just growing, and we welcomed one of the largest banks in the world recently as a customer. And we're kind of in stealth mode with them. So we have a lot of great things in the future, I would say, that we plan on doing with them. And we're also learning about enterprise sales and closing bigger companies. So I think that's definitely been our biggest success.
Are you at liberty to say that the bank, or is that like hush hush stealth mode there?
It's still hush hush stealth.
Okay.
I've innuendo drop But
That's
it's a bank that's at every speedway. So
okay,
yeah.
cool. What would you say is your favorite marketing book that you have read recently or just ever there?
I don't know if I've ever read marketing books.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lie. Actually, there's Mark Schaefer. I remember the author, but I don't remember the book. But Mark
Oh,
Schaefer wrote a book. And then
okay.
whatever book it was, it's definitely the best marketing book I've read. Oh, Cumulative Advantage.
How about podcasts? Are there any podcasts that you pay attention to right now or like have in the past that have really kind of helped you along the way?
I mean, there's several that helped me along the way. I think my favorite podcast right now, but Mark Schaefer has a podcast, The Marketing Companion. I'm in venture capital. There's a really good podcast, This Week in Startups.
Yep.
Jason Calacanis. So, yeah, I would say probably those two are pretty good.
Do you have a favorite like YouTube or video series that you're paying attention to right now?
YouTube. Yeah, same thing. I mean, I think, the All In podcast is great. I like 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. I think that's a good book.
As far as kind of resources there, are there any kind of like really helpful resources like business wise or marketing wise that have helped you in this past year? I could think of one myself, but any that stand out for you?
In the last year, you think? Or
Yeah. Last year or so, or if there's just one that has just been helping you for years and years that just stands out there. But
yeah, I mean, like Traction, I think is just a great book. It's about like entrepreneur operating system, just how to set goals.
I wasn't thinking books at this point, just like resource like Asana, ChatGPT, Bard. Like, is there anything out there that right now that is just kind of helping you with your systems and processes or anything like that? Or just
Yeah, I mean, I would say all AI. We're using pretty much everything. We use Trello to stay organized, but Airtable on some projects. But yeah, I think OpenAI, at your fingertips is more. It allows us to be like 10x marketers. So yeah, I think that's the main thing right now with where we're listening to. Yeah,
I'm just thinking like resource, like probably like API, AI, something that you use in your business that just kind of makes things flow a little bit better. For me, I would say.
I think at the end of the day, that's our own brain. At the end of the day, like our brains flow. I think most people fail because they just try to do too much and integrate some systems. So, I think for us, we just try to know how to talk to AI system, know how to use it. And then if you know how to do it, then technology in my world makes my life easier. So, my honest answer is all of it, but it's in the realm where it's efficient, period. So if you go to TikTok, we're there. If you go to Clapper, we're there. Lemonade, we're there. Most people listening to this podcast probably don't know what Lemonade and Clapper is, right? I have a theory that it could be bigger than TikTok in 3 years. So of course I'm gonna spend some time there. So, I think I think it's just, strategy's a commodity, execution's an art. So in my opinion, we're probably drowning with enough tools at our fingertips. I don't see a lot of people know how to use them to grow. So
nice.
That's the best.
That was a great little quote there. Like, yeah, strategy. Now, 2 more questions for you. So, what would you say is the most impactful piece of advice that you could have for someone who's looking to improve their marketing in general right now?
Yeah, I mean, following up on that, I would say your brain is your best software and hardware that you have. So maybe focus on a goal and do it. I think people try to get to 1 million customers before they even have one, which is crazy. So there's a 0 to 1 book that's good. Talk to your customers, figure out how you could add more value to them. Maybe the law of attraction will get unlocked because you helped a lot of people and they start telling other people, if I was to simplify it, I think it's just staying simple and true to what you're trying to do and helping people.
And finally, how can people get a hold of you or learn more about you? Would you say what's the best way?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hard to find. LinkedIn, Instagram, Manny Larcher.
Okay.
Happy to get in touch and, connect with anyone. So,
Okay. Well, Manny Larcher, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it. Bye.
thank you, Dee.